Hi, me again. Have a look how my Orc City's getting on. See, I've discovered that in fact I do need to get these rally points going upwards, so I've got them up to level 4 now. Still got quite a long way to go on the tech tree, but getting there slowly. Right, well, it's Crystal Tournament this week, and I do apologize that this video is a bit late. But I had cataract surgery last week, and I've had a bloody great eye patch stuck on, and I haven't really been able to do very much on the computer. So let's do it now, shall we? Okay, here is the QuickPick. I always start at the wrong end, so let's start at the right end. First of all, explore some provinces. Remember, you can only do your tournament in provinces that you have explored. So if you don't have enough, then go make some quickly between now and tomorrow. Good. Pre-build, well, it's the same old story, isn't it? Marble, crystal, and elixir. It's the first good in every tier. Marble is the first in basic goods, crystal is the first in crafted goods, and elixir is the first in magic goods. Good. The units to look at. Let's go to that side of the page over there. Two things to look at here. Number one is that this is not really a one-size-fits-all province, though there is a way to get around that. You see, you have your hellhounds and you have your two heavy ranged units, and you will see that your heavy melee will take them out. That is to say, a treant or a paladin will take out the dogs and will take out the long-range chappies. So therefore, you just got to worry about this one. She's the one who will poison your men to take their strength away, decrease their attack, and will also make them more vulnerable to her own friend's attack, you see. So she's a problem, but in fact these guys are quite resilient and they can take quite a smack. So the strategy I'm going to give you for this province, it seems to work, is to use on day 1, 2 and day 3. You can auto-fight with 5 squads of Paladin or Treant quite safely. You'll get away with it. Unless there are lots and lots of these. In that case, if you're doing the auto-fight route, just cater those ones. But if there's only one enchantress, you can put everything on auto-fight with 5 squads of these, okay? What do you do if you get to day 4, for example, when you really ought to be fighting manually or using the semi-auto-fight technique? How do you get rid of her first? Well, what I would say is that if you are an elf, I would use an archer. If I was a human, I would use dogs. But of course, elves could also use dogs. So there you go. That is more or less what I'd recommend. 5 squads of your heavy mages, and then when you've got lots of these, take them out with either archers, which would also work for humans and for elves or dogs. Good. Let's go and look at a fight. Right, now obviously just remember that the tournament hasn't started yet, so this is a normal fight we're looking at, just for demonstration purposes. Now let's look at this one here. I'm telling you, you could probably win this with 5 squads of archers, because you've got many of these. I'm not even going to try. But you certainly couldn't use anything that is not dedicated against getting rid of enchantresses. And this one, personally, if I had that many, they're going to do havoc. They're going to put spells on all your soldiers, and you've got a very good chance of losing this one. So this particular one, I'm going to cater. Right, here's one we can use. Unfortunately, I don't have a fight, because I've been fighting in this province already. I don't have a crystal tournament fight that has dogs in it, but treants will take dogs out. So let's try this one with 5 treants. Here we go. Right, before we start, there's just something I want to show you. It took me a year to learn what all of these buttons down here do, you see. So let's just quickly go and have a look at the wiki, and then we'll come back to the fight. Right, here we are. Here's the wiki. Now we're going to type in the word battle. And there you see it brings up battle, so we select that one there. And there are 5 topics here. It's really worth it if unless you're an expert fighter, if you haven't looked at this page, just have a look. There are 2 things I want to show you: the army setup and the battlefield, quickly. We've talked about this before, the order of battle. I showed you your troop number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will go into these positions: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 in the middle, 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down. Now I haven't shown you the enemy. It's a little bit more complicated because there are 8 of them, but you can come back here and look anytime you want to. I showed you how to find it. Don't forget, if you're looking for the wiki, you go down to the bottom right hand side of your city when you're playing, and there's a little button somewhere down here. You can click to come here, and you just type in, as you saw me do, battle. Here we go. The first one you select, the second, the third, the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Almost in the middle, towards the bottom, goes number 1. Number 2 is 1 up. Number 3 is 1 down. Number 4 is 1 up. Number 5 is 1 down. Number 6 is 3 up. Number 7 is 3 down. And number 8 is 4 up. Okay, you come and sort it out in your own time. I must admit, I've never really mastered this because I haven't got enough fingers. I've got 5 fingers for this one, so it's quite easy. But until I become an octopus in my next incarnation, I just ignore this. But it's there if you want to be technical. So there you go. That's the first thing. And the second thing, and this is the one I really wanted to show you today, is the initiative bar. Okay. I'm just showing it to you now. We'll go and actually look at it in the real game. But this is just so if you look at what I'm about to tell you and you wonder what the hell is he talking about and you want to come back and read in more detail, you go to Wiki, you go to Battle, and you go to the initiative bar. So let's go back to the fight now. Okay, now I'll show it to you. See, there's the initiative bar at the bottom. The important buttons that you must worry about. These ones give you the strength of your own troops. Those ones over there give you an idea of what the enemy is doing. But the buttons that took me ages to learn, this one here, have you seen that one? When you're using archers and you don't want to fight the first round, you see, then you just click this one, end turn. I'm not going to do it now. But you skip around by clicking that button. The second important button here is the finish battle automatically button. Which you've seen me use in the videos before. When I've won the fight, I do all the setup, get rid of the enemy baddies, and then as soon as I've got the fight won, then I click it, and then a little banner appears up here. It says results, so that's to save time. And then of course surrender. You use this when you've made a mess up and you're losing. You also use it when you send one archer in to just have a quick look at the field, and then you surrender and you don't lose any troops. So those are important. And then this one, who knows what this one does? Okay, switch to normal speed. You see, it's a speed control. That's slow. That's for beginners who want to auto fight. Put it on to auto battle. Put it on slow, and then you can light a cigarette, pour a cup of coffee, sit back and watch I stopped smoking 5 years ago, by the way. So I don't smoke any longer, but if you're stupid enough to continue, then you can light a cigarette and you can go on slow speed, or you can go to medium. But once you're an experienced fighter, particularly if you're using semi-auto fight, and you want to just quickly do all your tournament fights in 10 minutes, then you must of course go to maximum speed. Right, let's look at this and see what we're going to do here. Well, we're going to try and spread our troops out as much as we can. He's not going to get all the way around there, so I'll just leave him. This one I'm going to move towards battle. That one I'm going to move towards battle. This one here I'm going to move towards battle, and then we let the enemy go, see what they do. Bang, You see, the reason I'm using treants is that these guys are not really doing much, are they? They're not awfully effective against my troops. She's the problem, but we'll sort her case. She'll get sorted out. So we just keep moving them up. See, the enemy can't go around that side, so you actually have an advantage. You're going to be able to peg them off one by one. Good, so she's the big problem now, and you see the problem I'm going to have is that she has taken his teeth out. He's got a curse on him now, and she's blocking me, but there's nothing to do about that, other than to just move him out of the way. You see, this is smart. I could have gone there, and I would have been taking a weak man into battle. I don't want to do that, so I'd rather take this fresh chap who hasn't been hit, and I give her a hell of a smack. That'll teach her a lesson. She won't come and mess with me again, that I can tell you. Okay. Well, if she's going to try, but she's lost most of her teeth, you see. All I'm trying to show you now is semi-auto fighter. I'm trying to show you how to get to the point where you can hand the computer over to autopilot. And we're close to that now, you see. We'll just go over there and give her another tickle. And we actually got her. Well, that's all I wanted to do, because these guys are absolute, total toothless tigers, and he's a toothless tiger, so we've won the match. So we go now to that button I showed you, finish battle automatically, hit it, battle results, bing bang bong, and there you go. And you see we've lost 1 or 2 treants. That's quite acceptable, and that's the way that you can do day 1, day 2, and day 3 of the Crystal Tournament. I don't recommend it when the fights start getting difficult. Then you must either negotiate or cater, or you'll just have to start to do a bit of manual fighting. As long as you can get in with something or other, whether it's an archer or whether it's a dog or whatever, if you can get in to the fight and get rid of these girlies, if you can take out the nasty enchantresses, then you should be able to do quite well in the Crystal Tournament. It's not a difficult one. Good. Well, I hope that helped you. I mentioned in the last video, if you come to Elvenar Platinum Leaf on Facebook, I have a place there where you can actually put screenshots. So if during this tournament you get stuck with a fight, there are plenty of people who know more about fighting than me in that group, and you can just plonk a screenshot. It's in a file. I'll put the link for our QuickPick, and I'll put a link for the Help Me file underneath this video at the bottom. And while you're down at the bottom on YouTube page looking at those links, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button so that you get to see more that I do. And we'll see you around. Come visit us on Facebook. Bye.